and welcome back to the Infinite Library. Today we are going to talk about my June TBR, which I am finally not doing any readathons. I'm not reading for anything in particular. I'm just reading stuff that I want to read this month, and I'm very happy about it. I definitely have some books I would really like to get to this month. I'm also going to be doing what I believe will be the 5th episode of Treasure or Trash, and I'm very excited to be doing what I'm doing for that. I do have a couple of books that I definitely need to get to in June. However, there will be my book club book, of course. I have a couple of arcs I want to get to, and I have a couple of sequels that I'm really trying to prioritize. If you see my series tracker video that I did recently, you'll know that there is a bunch of series that I'm really close to finishing, so I really want to focus on those, whether they are ones I read in my Treasure or Trash video or I just read them regardless. Hoping to get to them this month, but I haven't got like a massive TBR, which is nice because last month was very full on what with trying to read as many books as I could for Filmora. I will have a couple of days at the beginning of June where I will likely still be reading a couple of things for Filmora, but I'm aiming to have got the majority of that done the previous month, so I kind of have more of a fresh TBR starting this month. So to start with the books I absolutely have to get to this month, I have 2 arcs, both digital ones that I want to get to. One of them is a very highly anticipated second book from an author I read from last year and loved, and one is just a book that's getting a lot of hype. It's probably going to be in a couple of book boxes, and I kind of want to see for myself if it's my kind of thing or not, to be honest. So the first book is The Society of Unknowable Objects by Gareth Brown. This is not the sequel, I believe it's set in the same universe, but it's the second book by Gareth Brown, who wrote the book of Doors, which I read last year. I think it was last year anyway, and I really enjoyed. It's been slowly getting more popular, I think, but I still think it's kind of an underrated book. Book of Doors was a portal fantasy set in modern day. We were following a cast of characters who had different books that could do various things. This one I believe is in the similar kind of vein. It's called The Society of Unknowable Objects, so I imagine it's items, objects of some sort. We have a group of people who have these items, not sure where it's going to go other than that, but I really enjoyed the plot line for the Book of Doors, so I'm really excited to see where Gareth Brown is going to go with in this next book. And The Society of Unknowable Objects, I believe, is coming out sometime in August. I do actually have quite a lot of time for this one, but I want to get to it sooner rather than later. And then the other book that I'm going to be reading is Arcana Academy by Elise Cover. She wrote an awful lot of like romantasy kind of stuff, which I also want to read, but this is more of a traditional fantasy. I kind of get the vibe with. I love me a school setting as well. This is about a woman who wields magical tarot cards, who ends up in a false engagement with the headmaster of a mysterious academy. It's going to be a series. I'm not sure how I feel about the headmaster relationship. If she's not a student, I'm kind of okay with that. But I'm really not crazy on the whole student-teacher thing. I've seen it done before. I hate it. It's really icky. But basically, yeah, it looks like our main character, who's called Clara, she has illegal magic and she ends up being sent to prison for inking tarot cards, which apparently is a rare power reserved only for practitioners at Arcana Academy, which is an elite academy. The headmaster offers her an escape from prison for a price, and he thinks that Clara is the perfect person to help him steal a tarot card from a king. So I'm guessing this is kind of like a bit of some heist elements as well. I know this is going to be romantasy, but I'm hoping we're going to get more action adventure in this as well. We'll see. I've not tried this author before, but it's getting a lot of hype at the moment, so I am hoping that I enjoy it. In terms of the other book I have to read this month, I obviously have my book club. At the time of me filming this, I've not actually had my book club, so as always, I don't know what book it's going to be yet. But I am between 3 books at the moment that I'm going to be putting forward as options for this book club. The first one is a I think it's YA, but it's a sci-fi book called All That's Left in the World by Eric J. Brown. It is, I want to say it's post-apocalyptic or dystopia kind of book. Very intrigued by it. It's been a recommendation from a member. Then we have also another sci-fi, but definitely more of a different style. This one is Chain Gang All-Stars, which would be a reread for me, I suppose. I actually read this back in December. Really enjoyed it. It was close to a 5-star for me. It is about a future where the American prison system has basically been turned into kind of the Hunger Games. Prisoners are put into death matches which are televised for profit. And the final book is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. I wasn't actually sure about putting this in my book club because I try to always have queer fantasy, sci-fi, horror in my book club, but I've actually been told that there are genderqueer characters who are the main 2 characters in this book, and I really want to read this book, so I'm kind of intrigued by it. This is like a hot release this year. It is about those 2 people who end up meeting each other life after life after life, falling for each other, killing each other. I read the first chapter and I actually quite like the writing. So yeah, I'm hoping it will be a good one if it gets picked. However, what did get picked was this. So that is what I will be reading or rereading if it's the case of Chain Gang All-Stars for my book club. On to the other books I want to try and get to. I have a bit of a stack. Whether I get to them or not, I think is going to mostly depend on treasure or trash, but I've also not got a massive amount going on in June, so I have a decent amount of time to be getting on with things. Let's go with the heaviest ones first. You've already seen this one in a previous TBR. I still have not got to the Rebel Witch. Chimera reading kind of just took over a little bit, but I am desperate. This is like my main other priority I want to get to this month, is that I want to finish the series. This is a sequel to The Crimson Moth. It's by Kristen Ciccarelli and it is about a woman who by day is a typical debutante, but actually she is a witch, and by night she is the Crimson Moth, who is kind of a vigilante who is rescuing other witches because witchcraft is illegal where she lives. And there is kind of like an enemies to lovers thing going on with this guy called Gideon, who is heading up like kind of the police of the place, who is after her and wants to imprison her. Really enjoyed the first book. Dying to get to the second book. I, of course, also have not get to Iron Widow yet. Dying to get to this, honestly. It's so hefty. This is really putting me off because it's so hefty, and I've heard very mixed things now about the second book from people, so I'm feeling a little bit of trepidation about going into this, but I am looking forward to my reread of Iron Widow and then finally picking up Heavenly Tyrant. I've waited so many years for this book. This is a Chinese-inspired sci-fi fantasy. I say sci-fi because it's, if you know anime, there's a lot of people in mechs in this, but it is about our main girl here called Zetian, who is on a revenge mission in the first book, and stuff happens, and there's polyamory, and I absolutely love all 3 main characters in it. I'm really worried about where it's gonna go in this second book. Like, I just don't want my main 3 to be hurt, and I know they're gonna be. And there's another person, this awful man here, who I believe is gonna be more into it now. But yeah, hopefully we'll also get to this. Then I just have a couple of others that I want to try and get to during the month. Mostly just me carrying on series, or in the first case, starting a series. I did say I wanted to actually start this series last month, and I didn't get to it because I had too many other books to read, so I am gonna try and start my read of the Percy Jackson series. I might get more than 1 book done in this month, we'll see. I may also audiobook these, I'm not sure yet, but I just want to give this series a try and work out if it is for me or not, because it was so long ago that I read a couple of books from it, and I don't know if it's going to be too young for me now, and if it is, then I want it off my shelf so I've got more space. Then I do have Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I'm currently having a re-listen of Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda, which is the first book in this, like, it's kind of a series, but it's just a series of books that are kind of all set within the same kind of world, I guess. This is the 3rd and final book, I want to say, following this character called Leah, who I want to say is bisexual, but I don't really know. Yeah, she's bisexual, and I remember really liking her in the Simon book, and I'm actually really enjoying my re-listen of Simon vs. Homo Sapien Agenda as well. I haven't seen the movie yet, which I will actually do. at some point, but the audiobook is really good for it. So I just kind of was in the mood for something like a little bit easy to listen to whilst I'm reading a lot of heavy fantasy. So that's got me onto this series, and then I will finally get to this book which I've had on my shelf for quite a long time now. And the final book that I'm hoping to get to is just catching up with a series, and that is The Summer Hikaru Died. I absolutely love this manga. It is a horror slice of life. It's getting an anime soon, and the 5th book has just come out. I've got no idea when, if the 6th book is coming out, but I always grab those as soon as I see them because this is kind of my favorite series right now. I am just obsessed with this series. This is got like a lot of horror elements in it, as you can see, but it is about these 2 boys, Hikaru and Yoshiki, and basically like the summer before they went to school that year, Hikaru went up into the mountains, and when he come back down, he is not Hikaru anymore. There is something else inhabiting his body which still has his memories, and his friend figures it out pretty fast that this is not in fact his best friend. And yeah, stuff happens. It's getting some more mystery elements in it now, which I'm really enjoying. Really giving me Higurashi vibes in terms of this like really small rural village of people and stuff kind of not being right in the village. But yeah, really excited to carry this series on. The only reason why I haven't got to it yet is because I'm a little bit sad that when I get to this one, I'm not going to have any more to read for a while. So normally I would buy this and I would like read it straight away, but I put this one off a little bit just so I've got a little bit of like time before I then have to be waiting for the next book again. So yeah, that is my main TBR for the month. It's not really that bad, to be honest. That's like what, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8 books is the plan so far, which does of course mean that all the rest of my books are going to be in my treasure or trash video. So I'm currently not decided exactly what I'm doing for this video. I know I want to use prompts in some form of way. So my options are, I have these 2 prompt decks, which are both from Illumicrate, I believe. So my options are I can either use these, or I have another cool idea that I kind of want to try out that I may end up doing instead. But yeah, basically I want something that is not going to give me a big set TBR necessarily straight away. I just want to have prompts that will give me a little bit of leeway to pick certain books, because I do want to prioritize finishing series at the moment over just whatever book there is. So that is kind of my main plan with this, is that I'm hoping the prompts will give me that little bit of leeway to still have some form of choice while picking the books, so I can kind of prioritize certain books. So well, hopefully that will work. You will find out once that video is finally up. And that is it for me. Let me know what books you're planning to read this June. Have you got any exciting plans? Is there any new releases that you're excited about that are coming out? I can't even remember what new releases are coming out in June, to be honest. There's probably some that I've forgotten about and then I'll want to read them this month too, but who knows? Let me know down below if you think I'm forgetting anything. So, as always though, stay safe, stay cozy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!